Now let's back up here for a quick second, because you had said that there are certain industries or sectors or spaces in the franchise space where you're going to increase in multiple. And obviously, the more studios or locations or businesses that you have as a franchisee or as a franchisor, the more that you can sell it for, right? So your multiple is going to increase if you go from 1 to 2 locations or to 5. Obviously, the more the merrier. But what are some other ways that you're getting from that 7x to a 15x on EBITDA? And like you said, these niche franchise markets where you could even go to a 20x or higher.
You like that?
I love it. I love it.
So you're right. Like, I've sold, when we had 12 locations in the salon suite business as a franchisee, and we were not working in the business at all because we had someone managing the business for us. And we were literally just doing a weekly meeting with them. We got a higher multiple because of that, right? So you have to get to scale, whatever scale looks like in your business or your niche. You need to get to that scale to get the highest multiple. So that would always be my goal. Whenever I'm a franchisee, I'm, whatever it is, I'm like, what is that point where I can remove myself from the business and to get the maximum multiple when I do go to sell it? So my goal is to get there as fast as I can to make the business sellable. Now, I may or may not sell it at that point. But now to your question on the franchisor side of things, franchisors want a lot of franchisees. The more franchisees you have, the more monthly recurring revenue that you have, because you as a franchisor are getting royalties from all of that. Now, as a franchisor, you should be providing more value than you're getting paid in royalties, but that is your income. So if you can provide more value to the franchisee and be making money, that's a win. There's other things that you can do as a franchisor. You have buying power. So you can, if you are in the garage door business, you have relationships with the biggest manufacturers, and you can actually guarantee that you are going to provide or buy X amount of garage doors from different manufacturers. Well, they're going to give you a better deal than anybody else. So you get rebates on that typically. And you don't want to, now this is where franchisors go wrong. They don't pass on some of those rebates to the franchisee. So I think it's always wrong if a franchisor, if it's more expensive for a franchisee to be in the garage door business because of the franchisor, that's wrong. They should be getting a discount, a bigger discount than they would be getting normally as a mom and pop business. So that's one way that franchisors make money besides just growing with royalties. Because if you're growing with, here's the thing, if you're growing with just royalties as a franchisor, it's really hard to make it. So you need to have other revenue streams. And the way that I like to look at it as a franchisor, if I can have other revenue streams that provide value, ROI to the franchisee, then it's a win-win for everybody. Not everybody, will understand it like that, but that is the best thing a franchisor can do. So now you're a franchisor, Justin, you have multiple revenue streams coming in. If you used to buy from a manufacturer, maybe you are the manufacturer, or you're doing things at scale for the franchisee so they don't have to do it themselves. You have a call center. You are the call center. You don't outsource it. There's so many different ways to do that. But now the franchisees are happy because they're making more money. They're having a better service because you're helping them. You're making money as the franchisor, and then you have the opportunity to have a higher multiple. Reason is because you have multiple revenue streams. It's not just tied to opening up more locations. That's not the only growth mechanism. That's not the only growth lever. So I think multiple revenue streams as a franchisor gives you just the buyer safety. Here's the other thing with that. I know a franchisor that sold to a private equity company, and they made more money on providing direct mail to their franchisees than they did on royalties. And they gave the franchisees a better deal on direct mail than going to Valpak themselves or whatever the direct mail vendor is. But they became a direct mail company and a franchisor. The company that bought them knew that, and that's one of the reasons they bought that. Now, what they did is they went and bought other franchises that used direct mail as their main source, but the franchisor was outsourcing that to different people. So they were able to buy a franchisor at a lesser multiple, bring it into their ecosystem, and then their franchisees started using the new direct mail vendor, which is theirs, getting a better deal. And now the franchisor just immediately increased revenue. So that company, if it's going into a company that is excited about direct mail and has a direct mail company, they're going to pay a higher multiple than the one that doesn't. So that's an example of, something that you just wouldn't think about. But here's one last thing. People that are buying franchisors, typically, let's say it's the home services space. If they already have a painting company in there, then they're not going to acquire another painting company. So if there's a bunch of painting companies out there, that's probably not going to be the one that has the highest multiple. Let's say they have nine franchisors in their portfolio, and they want to add one more. That needs to be kind of a niche franchise. So there's a number of them. That's one of the reasons we're in the roofing franchise, because we're going to be one of the biggest roofing franchisors out there, and there's not many of us. And so it's going to be more attractive when the time does come to sell, if we sell it or when we sell it. Everything's for sale strategically, but that's not our goal, is to sell, but that's why we chose the roofing industry. And there's multiple other industries that we have our eye on that are more niche, not the main and plain industries out there.